Hello, hello. Good
Yeah,
evening,
yeah,
everyone. How is everyone tonight?
good.
Cool. Okay, cool. We will have more people rolling in. I had a whole bunch of people that registered for this. So I know that some of them that registered flat out said they can't be here live, but they registered so they could get the recording. Um, and I'm super excited about tonight. So hopefully we'll have some others that'll be coming in. But welcome everybody who is here. We're going to get started because it's 8 o'clock and I want to start on time. So I am excited to be announcing the next phase of some of the things that I've been doing. You guys, so I'm going to tell a little bit about who I am, what I'm doing, and how this is going to roll out into the future. So, for those of you who do not know me, my name is Leslie Zwick. I am a certified holistic performance coach, and I have been coaching for almost 8 years now. And I started in this coaching world as a weight loss and wellness coach almost 8 years ago with the sense to help people get healthy, and it started as a physical health, and I still do that. I still do a lot of that, but over the last 8 years, and actually over really the last 2 years, I have expanded and shifted my coaching to incorporate and include a lot more than just the weight loss and wellness, because there's so much more to it than that. Getting healthy physically is incredibly important, and those are the first, for me, those were the first steps in the journey. When I started this process almost 8 years ago, I was 75 pounds overweight. And that was where I needed to start. I needed to start with the physical, with the tactical, practical, even though at the time I considered myself a professional yo-yo dieter. I've done every weight loss program known to man, and probably some that aren't so well known to man. I've tried them all. But I knew that's where I needed to start. But when I started getting healthy 7.5 years ago, almost 8 years ago now, one of the biggest changes that I knew that I had to make was that it couldn't just be about the physical. I knew that I had to change what was going on up here in my head. I knew I needed to change what was going on in here, in my heart, in who I am as a person. I needed to reconnect with myself as a person, because otherwise I was going to keep going around and around and around in the circle of losing the weight, gaining the weight, losing the weight, gaining the weight, the same circle that I had been doing for many, 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 many years. And when I started originally, I didn't really know how to do that. And it's taken me almost 8 years to really figure out some things as to actually how to do. And so that's what we're going to be talking about tonight is we need the tactical practical. That's really, really important. But what are some of the other things that we can do to actually make the tactical practical stick and actually make it a new part of our life? Because that's what has taken me almost 7.5 years to figure out. And I don't want it to take everyone else that long. My goal now is to teach people how to do that and how to combine their tactical practical piece with the others, so you can have the results that I'm now having that's taken me a long time to learn. So I want to tell you a little bit sort of about my process, what I do, what I teach now. And it is a acronym called SHIFT, SHIFT. Okay, and it stands for, the T is what we're trying to get to, which is transform. But it stands for, first thing is seek change, right? The S is seek change. You have to want to make a change in your life if you want something to happen. And I was the master at seeking change for many, many, many years, right? Seeking change. And then the H is you have to have a plan. You have to have a plan of action. I was the master at seeking change and having a plan, coming up with the next plan. Like I said, I had done every weight loss program known to man and many of those that weren't. Then you have to have the I, you have to have initiate action. You have to step in and take some sort of action step. The problem is what happens, most of us get stuck in the S, the H, and the I. We seek change. I'm sick and tired of feeling sick and tired. We come up with our next greatest plan. And I will tell you, spoiler alert, there are a lot of amazing, amazing plans that are out there, and weight loss programs that are out there. And I will tell you that they all work if you actually work them. Okay. They all work if you actually work them. So you can seek change, have a plan, and then you initiate action, right? And so we do that. We come up with our next best thing, and then we start initiating that action. And most of us get caught in that trap. around and around and around
Okay.
and around, right? Because at
I do
some
all the
point in our thing, we stop initiating the action. So we make some progress. We feel really good. Maybe we get to our goal. Maybe we don't. And then we start slipping back and we stop initiating that action. And then we get to a place and then we are back again, seeking another change and having another new plan. Or maybe we're going back to the old plan that we did. And then we're initiating action again and we're just around and around. But that's only the first 3 steps in shift. The next step in shift is the F. And this is the key. This is the secret. This is the thing that took me a long time to learn that I'm now teaching you guys. And that is the F is facing your fears, facing the limiting beliefs, facing the energetic pieces that are underlying and keeping us back from actually achieving what we want to achieve. That's the key piece is the F, because when we do that, then we can have the T, then we can actually transform, then we can actually change our lives. And by learning how to do that, we create a whole new relationship with ourselves. We create a whole new relationship with food. We create a whole new relationship with, if this is the same process, whether you're doing this for weight loss, whether you're doing this for relationships, whether you're doing this for financial health, whatever it is, it's all the same thing. You're creating a whole new relationship with that, and you can actually transform. You can actually have those things. When you leave out the F, then you have the S, H, I, and the T. You're sitting in stuck, hurt, insecure, and trapped. And that's what most of us have done over and over and over and over again. So my new journey, my new piece of my coaching is really teaching people, and I've been doing this for the last close to 2 years in different ways and expanded, is teaching people how to do that F piece, how to truly face, recognize, notice those limiting beliefs, notice those old emotions, notice that trauma that's there and let it go so that it can no longer control us. And then we can actually have that piece of transformation. So some of what I want to really talk about first as we're going to dive in, and we're actually going to do an alignment session tonight to start this and to start clearing some of this stuff out. But one of the most important things to understand is how energy works. We are energetic beings. We are 99.99999% energy. And so energy is all around us. Energy is always affecting our bodies. Energy is always playing a role in everything. But what happens when the way we are created, some of you may know a little bit about energy, some of you may not, but we have chakras, we have meridians, right? They're energy lines throughout our body. Energy is meant to run through our body from head to toe, go through us. And when we're healthy and when we're in a place to do that, it just runs right through us. So an emotion takes 90 seconds to run from head to toe, to go all the way through us. And most of the time that works perfectly. That works wonderfully. But sometimes, some percentage of the time, we feel an emotion, we have a trauma, we have a limiting belief that comes into us, that energy, because all of those things are energy. Our words are energy. Everything is energy. It comes into us and our brain says, I don't want to deal with that right now. And instead of letting it run from head to toe and go out of us, it gets stuck. It gets stuck in some place in our body and it just gets lodged there and it continues to vibrate at a very low frequency within our bodies. We started doing this as very young children. We held on to these energies, this energy of overwhelm, this energy of anxiety, this energy of depression, this energy of sadness, of grief, all of them, you name them, we hold on to all of them. And they sit in our body and they just resonate at this very low frequency. And it means that when it's doing that, our bodies aren't functioning to as high of a level as it could be. As soon as we start to let that go, our bodies can start to work more efficiently, more effectively. So one of the ways I like to explain how this all works, because it's a lot of the illnesses, a lot of the things that we feel, a lot of the discomfort that we feel is really just old trapped energies that are there. And when we clear them out, our bodies can actually heal and feel better. Sometimes when I work with clients and we move stuff out, just like that, they feel amazing. And that pain or discomfort goes away right away. Sometimes it takes longer and it takes a process. But what happens is when we trap this energy, think of your body as a big parking lot. So let's picture your heart as a big parking lot. And there are trucks that come in and out all day long. They come in and bring in what it needs and to go out taking away what it doesn't need. But when we have that energy that's trapped there, it gets stuck in one of those parking spots. So the truck tries to come in and it can't get into the spot because there's a ball of energy sitting there. Maybe some anxiety, maybe some overwhelm, maybe some sadness, maybe some grief, maybe some I'm not worthy, right? All these energies sitting there and it can't get in. And it keeps trying to get in. Maybe it can get partially in. But after a while, it starts blaring its horn. And that's when we feel the discomfort. That's when we feel the dis-ease. And as soon as we clear that energy out, then that truck can get back in there and it can do its job. Sometimes it hasn't been there that long and there's not really much damage done and we feel better pretty much almost immediately. Sometimes it's been sitting there for far too long and the physical has started to break down and it has to heal. It has to take longer to heal. And sometimes it's broken down so much that it can't heal. So we don't have miraculous healing on everything that we do, but I have seen with a lot of clients over the last few years doing this, some very quick healing and very quick changes. And I know there are a couple of you on here. If you want to open up really quickly, if anybody wants to open up really quickly and share where you've had that experience. Marcia, it looks like you're reaching to, yeah.
Well, yeah, because I mean, it wasn't with the alignment, but with something else you did when I had my problem with my neck. And none of the medical professionals were helping with it. It felt like it was burning inside my neck. And I had all these things done, and then the burning started after they were finished. And you did one session with me, and the burning went away.
Right. Yeah. Pretty cool. Yeah, that was energy work. We did an emotion code, body code session, and we cleared the energy. And it's all the same thing. And Marcia is one of many, 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 many people that I've helped do that with, because it's all energy and we can do that. And so where we're going and where we're taking this into this is getting healthy in the new year, losing weight. It's all the same thing. Many of us who struggle with it, we hold on to those limiting beliefs. So our body holds on to this weight. It doesn't want to release it. Or when we do the tactical, practical over and over and over again, that's science. You're going to lose weight if you follow a weight loss program. But what happens is we're holding on to this energy within our bodies, and that energy pulls more of it. When you have anxiety, when you have feelings of unworthiness, when you have feelings of, I can't do this, I'm a fraud, I'm never going to be able to keep off the weight, when you're holding on to that, that continues to resonate in your body and it becomes the reality. So you can only fight that with willpower for so long. So, and some of you may have heard me talk about in the past, the 3 powers of changing your life: willpower, thrill power, skill power. And what I've really added into that is energy power, is the 4th power. So for those of you who haven't heard it, the 3 powers, willpower, everything, whenever we want to create a change in our life, that S, that seek change, that's willpower, right? It starts with willpower. We have to have that willpower to get started, to take that first step forward. We've got willpower. And when we do the willpower, the thrill power kicks in. We're starting to see the thrill of success. When we're doing a weight loss program and sticking to it, it's willpower to stick to it. But the weight starts coming off and we start feeling better. Or if we're building our business and money starts coming in and it's the thrill of doing the work and it's growing, right? All those things. And the thrill power feeds the willpower and keeps us going, which is great. And while you're doing that, you're hopefully building some skills. You're building your skill power so that when the willpower and the thrill power wane, because it will, willpower always wanes. Some people can hold it for a short amount of time. Some people can hold it for a long amount of time. But at some point, you hit a wall with your willpower and your thrill power. And the hope is that you've built some skills that you can fall back on in the skill power. And that's the next piece, that can sustain you through until your willpower and your thrill power kick back in again. And that was what I taught for a very long time. And I realized as I was teaching that, as I was living that, it worked. That kept me in SHI, around and around and around in circles. But in comes the energy power. When we tap into that energy and recognize that energy within our bodies because it's resonating there, all those things, all those limiting beliefs, all those old emotions, they're resonating there. And those can only fight against willpower. Willpower can only fight against that for so long, because that is the old stuff. That is the unconscious thoughts, the things where we get sucked into old patterns, because that energy is going to get stronger and stronger and stronger, because like energy wants like energy. So when you're holding on to that old stuff, it's going to get really powerful, and it's going to make that willpower, thrill power, skill power go out the window. And that was what I learned. I can tell you all of the tactical, practical things I needed to do to get healthy. I can pretty much guarantee everybody in here who has ever done any kind of weight loss program ever can tell you the tactical, practical things to do. You know what is a good choice to eat. You know what is not a good choice to eat. You know what is a good choice to do exercise. You know what a good choice is for healthy sleep, for how much, for drinking water, for all of those things, right? Those are not new things. And if they are, then we can work on those too, if you're missing some of the tactical, practical pieces. But over the last 7.5 years working with clients, I've helped them lose a whole lot of weight. And they got to the place and they knew all the tactical, practical things, but they couldn't keep their weight off. And that's where I wanted to start and create this new piece so that we can do that energy work, so that we can clear out that underlying stuff, so we can give ourselves a shot of the tactical practical being a long-term thing. Because I know I wanted to become the person who didn't have to worry about getting on the scale, didn't have to worry about, am I going to be healthy next week, next month, next year? That could be a part of my past, and that I can move forward. One of the most amazing things in my life right now, so when I started this, I was addicted to the scale. I was one of those people that was on the scale every single day, and that's not a healthy habit. And I knew it wasn't a healthy habit, but it was one of those things I was so addicted, and I didn't realize the anxiety that it caused in my life. And a few years ago, I decided that for 30 days, I was going to cut the daily scale addiction. This was going to be a willpower thing that I was going to do. And I was going to go down to once a week on the scale. And I did that for quite a while. I did it for 30 days and I stuck to it because it felt much better, like that anxiety released. I will tell you, since I've started doing some of the work that I'm now teaching everybody else to do, I rarely get on the scale. And it's not because I'm afraid of what the scale is going to say. I know exactly what the scale is going to say. I know when I've been following my healthy habit, when I've been doing the tactical, practical things, and I know when I haven't. So it's going to reflect that. But I rarely get on the scale anymore, and I don't have this addiction to it. One of the things that I aligned to was to not have this addiction to the scale. And it because I know the other choices are much more important, and I'm standing in a much healthier place. Am I done? No, I still have a lot more work to do, and it's going to be a lifetime's worth of work. But the shift and the change that has happened and that transformation that has happened has been incredibly powerful. And that's what I wanted as we step into this new year. I wanted to start to teach this and really help people, as I keep hearing everybody saying, I'm going to get healthy in 2024. This is going to be my year. The same thing that we say every single year. I don't know about you, but that for many years was my thing. This is going to be my new year, right? New year, new you. This is going to be, I'm never going to do this again, right? Okay. I can get some nods if you guys can relate, right? So this is where we were. And I decided that this wasn't going to be how I wanted to be anymore. And so that was where this came from, is starting to see how many people are saying that. And I don't want people to be saying that at the end of 2024, that, oh my gosh, once again in 2025, I'm going to be doing this again. So I'm launching a program that's going to start at the beginning of January. And this can coincide with any kind of tactical, practical program that you're doing. We still have to do the tactical, practical. We still have to eat healthy and get healthy motion and get healthy sleep and drink enough water and do all the things, right? This isn't magic. But alongside of that, taking the mindset piece, taking the energy piece to the next level so that we're not working off of willpower, thrill power, and skill power, but we're clearing that out. We're clearing out the energy level so that those things can actually work. And so that our willpower doesn't wane, because it's no longer about willpower. It's about truly knowing inside of us, I deserve to be healthy. Some of the biggest things that I hear and that I've battled with myself and that I've worked with clients on with this is, one, I don't deserve to be healthy. I don't deserve it. On a deep down level, I don't deserve it, because when we know we deserve something, we go when we make it happen. Or I can't sustain this. Or I'm not capable of doing this. I've never been able to do this before, right? All of those things. And we start smushing these down by piling on all kinds of positive affirmations. And I don't know about you, but I love affirmations. I think affirmations are amazing, but we say them and we use them not in the best way. We use them without clearing out all the underlying stuff that's going on inside of us energetically that's saying, I don't believe those affirmations. So when we don't look at that stuff that's underlying, we can pile all kinds of good on top of that, but it's literally like putting whipped cream on poop. Okay. You put some whipped cream on top of the poopy thoughts you have, it's still poopy, right? It's not going to be good. So we want to get rid of that. So then we just have the sweet whipped cream. We just have that moving forward. We just have that ability to actually step into our highest power and who we truly are. So tonight, we're going to do an alignment session. For those of you who have never been on an alignment session with me, I'm going to teach you how to align. And we're going to start this process about aligning to making 2024 the most amazing year. So we're going to do that in this. But I want to launch for you guys and share with you what this program is going to look like. It's going to start at the beginning of January. I'm actually going to share my screen and show you what it's going to look like. And then we're going to go through this alignment session. So the program is going to be 1 month. It's going to be the month of January, and it's going to be the Be Your Healthiest You in 2024. And so this program, it's going to be a group kind of program, but it's going to include everybody that's part of the group is going to get one-on-one session, hopefully before the group starts, but sometime at the very beginning, so that we can set your goals, so that we can do some things for yourself. If you need help with the tactical, practical, on what is your food plan energetically, which foods align with you, all of those things, we can go through that in your one-on-one session. We're going to do 4 group sessions. They're going to be there's 4 Wednesday nights in January. And I can tell you those dates in just a second. There are going to be 2 group emotion code, body code proxy sessions, which you're not on those sessions. Those I'm doing energy work just for you for the whole group at the same time. Last year in January, I did a series of 4 of these and they were incredibly powerful. So I'm tying that in instead of making that a separate thing. Marsha's nodding her head again. She was part of it. They were incredibly powerful. So there's going to be those 2 group emotion code proxy sessions where I'm just clearing out energies that people are just holding on to. As part of this, so one of the amazing tools that I have is a software called AO Scan. And in that, I can send frequencies and energies to people. So for 4 weeks, for the 4 weeks of January, for the entire month of January, I'm going to be running daily Cephi tones sent to the entire group for weight loss and wellness and inner peace. And it will be a Cephi list of energies that are specifically designed to the people in the group. And then in addition, everybody is going to get 1 month's worth of Cephi dots, which are going to have that same playlist in them. And those are frequency energy patches that you put on your body and wear them so that you are getting that energy into you for the month while we're doing all of this. Because we're going to be hitting this in every aspect that we can to help get your energy in alignment. So that as you're doing your tactical practical, whether you have any weight to lose or not, it doesn't matter. It's not going to necessarily be about losing weight, but it's going to be about getting your body in its healthiest place. Because when our bodies are in its healthiest place, they do exactly what they need to do, which is why I don't worry about the scale anymore. I know when I'm doing the healthy actions that I need to take, the scale is going to do exactly what it's supposed to do. So that's what this is going to be all about. So this program, like I said, it's going to launch officially. The group coaching is going to start at the beginning of January. The value on this is $1,250. The program cost is going to be $697. But for everybody who is in this tonight or who watches the replay of this through December 1st, if you register and you use the code webinar200, you're going to take an additional $200 off. So it's going to be $497 for this program for January. Which is going to be incredibly exciting. Anybody who has done energy work with me will tell you that what you're going to get out of for $497 out of that month is going to be, you're going to have more value than the $1,200 value in there. If you do this and do the tactical practical along with it and come in and use this, you will gain tremendous, tremendous, tremendous change. You will also have for life the recordings of these sessions that we do. So even if you're not on them live, you can always catch the recordings. And afterwards, you can always go back and redo the alignment sessions that we do as a group. I'm going to be setting up a course that you're going to have a special login, so you won't have to hold on to the recordings in your email or anything else. There's going to be a way that you're going to have access to log in and get to those at any point in time. So for the rest, so even 6 months later, a year later, 2 years later, if you're struggling with some of this, you'll be able to go back and tap into those recordings and use those again. So that is the excitement of what's going to be launching in January. On that screen, I can reshare it with you again. You can register, and you'll get this again in your an email with the recording. You can register at resetrebuildrestore.com/healthiest you, or you can scan this QR code, and it'll take you straight to that to register. And make sure you use the webinar 200 for that additional 200 off. So now we're going to get into doing some aligning. Now we're going to get into doing some clearing so we can launch this and really start being our healthiest you. So for those of you who have never done an alignment session, I'm going to teach you really quickly how to align and what that means. So it's going to look a little funny. You might feel a little funny doing it. It's totally okay. What this is doing, what aligning is doing, is we are going to use a series of tapping and breath work combined along with speaking some things out to clear out the things that are stepping in our way. When we align our body, we are opening it up to let the energy go straight through us and for our body to pull what it needs from it, because our body needs some of this energy, and to release what it doesn't need from it. And so we are, you hear about, being in alignment with certain things. So that's exactly what we're going to be doing. And we're going to get in alignment with this statement. So I've created the statement that we're going to get into alignment with tonight. So I'm going to read it out loud to you right now. And you guys can write this down. So if you have a piece of paper, you're going to want to write this down, because this is the statement, and we're going to use this, and this is what's going to launch this in. And by the way, this recording, if you sign up, you're going to get an email with it. But when you sign up for the course, this session is going to also be in that course where you'll be able to log in and pull this forever and ever and ever. So this alignment is: in 2024, I will become the healthiest version of myself, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and financially. Because getting healthy is not just about physical health. For many of us, it's a start, but it's definitely not the end all be all. So in 2024, I will become the healthiest version of myself, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and financially. Did everybody get that? Okay. So before we go through actually starting the alignment process, aligning to it, I'm going to teach you how to align. So when we align, we're going to start by tapping in the front of our forehead, and we're going to tap across up the top of our head and down the back of our neck to basically to where to your C7, to where you feel the bump in the back of your neck. So you're going to tap like this, and we're going to tap that 9 times. So the first time we're going to do it, we're going to tap and we're going to breathe in through our nose, and then the second time out through the mouth, and then in through the nose, and then out through the mouth, and then in through the nose, and out through the mouth. And then the next 3, we're going to pant. And then we're going to end it with a big smile. And what this does is this sends a whole variety of signals to your body. This is actually very scientific. It sends a whole variety of different signals to your body, and your brain can only handle one signal at a time. So it removes the brain. When I talk about mindset, we have a set of minds, 3 minds: our head mind, our heart mind, which is emotions, and our gut mind, which is our intuition. And our head mind wants to take over all the time. Our head mind wants to be in control. And it's great. Our head mind is important. But our head mind's number one job is to keep us alive. And so that's where it starts whispering all these false truths and all these things. And we want to quiet that head mind so that our emotions and our intuition can have a say. And so when we align like that and we start sending confusing messages to our head mind, to our brain, it sort of shuts that off and it lets the emotion and it lets the gut brain work and clear out that energy and relax. And it actually, when you do that piece, it's taking your body in and out of fight or flight several times. And when we do that, it just releases everything and relaxes everything. And you're going to feel, as we start to do this, you're going to start to notice the shifts as we start to do this. Before I go into actually aligning this, does anybody have any questions or thoughts, comments, or concerns? No? Okay, cool. So in the chat, I want you to start throwing out in the chat. I'm going to read off this statement one more time, and we're going to start thinking about, we're going to look at the ideal things that come up with this statement and the non-ideal things. So the ideal things would be, it's going to be easy. I feel really good. And these are just things that I'm rattling off. I'm not going to have to struggle anymore. Those kinds of things are ideal, what we want it to be. The non-ideals are the things that chatter in our brain, the poop that we're trying to cover with the whipped cream. I can never do this. I'm a fraud. I've never been successful before. Those kinds of things are the non-ideals. We need to face both sides of those. That is the F in the shift. Because if we ignore the fears, if we ignore the limiting beliefs, if we ignore those things, we're just covering them and smushing them down and we're still holding on to that energy. So I want to start just in the comments, start rattling off some non-ideals that come up that you think of. And you can also say them out loud, but it's easy if you do it. If people are typing them in the comments and you just want to shout some out loud, or I'll read them off as you guys do them, so that we can start putting them in. And the more you can put in, the better. So can't sustain this. Won't work for me. Will be too hard. It won't work because it never does. Too much effort. Gotta be more. Keep typing, keep adding to them. Or you can open up and speak them. I always fall off the wagon. They don't believe in the energy concepts. They don't work. There are too many temptations around me. It will never work. Another big one for me that I had to clear was I'm a fraud. The hole is so big to fill. I always feel like eating. FOMO.
It's FOMO.
One. FOMO, fear of missing out.
Oh.
There's too much to clear. Eating is a comfort. So good. Give me a couple more. I don't make time for myself. I'm too busy. I'm an emotional eater. They're great. When I'm not busy, I always feel like snacking. I cannot sustain this long term. Not sure I can do this. Okay. So good. Okay, now let's flip and start listing off what are some of the ideal thoughts and feelings. My heart isn't into it. Oh, I like that one, Amy. What are some of the ideals? So let's start going into what is it going to look like? I can reach my goals. I can do this. I am worth it. I did this before. I can do it again. Don't eat emotionally like I used to. I can pause and choose something else. I feel amazing. I can reach my goal and sustain it. I feel successful. I am powerful. I can be me. Okay, I want everyone to, I'm going to read off the statement again. And I want everyone to type in the chat scale of 1 to 10 or 0 to 10. 0, you don't believe it at all. Like this is not you at all. 10 being, I got this. Like 10 is the best. You totally believe this. And so rank yourself, just listen to your intuition as to where you think you are. In 2024, I will become the healthiest version of myself physically, emotionally, spiritually, and financially. Give us a scale of 0 to 10, 0 being you don't believe it at all, 10 being like, I got this, totally got this. That's fine. Okay, I see Marcia's and Karen's and Jean's and Eileen's. Okay, awesome. Harry, you're fluctuating between a 3 and a 7. That's a pretty big fluctuation.
Yeah, it's muscle testing.
Don't muscle test it, just like internally, like think about it, what number pops into your head, because sometimes it's just that intuition of just listening to ourselves. Okay, 5. Okay. Awesome. Okay. So now we're going to take that, and our goal in this is to get this as close to a 10 for everyone as possible in the next 15 minutes or so. We're going to see where we can shift this. So I'm going to read off the statement again, and I want you to recognize, close your eyes while I'm reading it, and I want you to feel in your body where you're feeling that resistance come up. In 2024, I will become the healthiest version of myself, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and financially. So I want you to just feel where that is sitting, where that resistance to that is sitting. I want you to tap on that spot. And I want you to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. And you may feel it in more than one spot. We're going to do this in a variety of spots. So whichever one is the most prominent, wherever you're feeling it the loudest, the strongest, I want you to tap in that spot. And it may move as we tap and as we talk about this, that energy is going to move, and that's okay. Okay. So I align my body 100% to the statement, in 2024, I will become the healthiest version of myself, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and financially. Right now, I don't necessarily believe that. Right now, those words just sound like words. This is really hard. I've let myself down way too many times. I've said things like this in years past, and it's never worked out. I can choose to hold on to that energy. That old energy of it never works out. Or I can choose to look at it and see it and feel it and let it go. And I can choose to step into the power of the words and know 100% that I can choose to make 2024 truly my healthiest year. In 2024, I can step into the power of this being easy, being healthy in all areas of my life, choosing it to be easy and just part of who I am without stress, without feeling the fear of missing out when I go to events and there's good food there, and knowing the food is always a choice. Food is just energy. There's no such thing as good food or bad food. It's just food. I know that I can learn how to listen to my body and what foods are going to resonate and what foods are going to help keep me healthy and which foods are not good choices in the moment. I align my body 100% to this statement. In 2024, I will become the healthiest version of myself, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and financially. And now we're going to align. So start by tapping in the front of your forehead and crush your head in. The first one is in through the nose, out through the mouth, in through the nose, out through the mouth, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Now we're going to do a pant. Second time pant. Third time pant. And smile. Okay, now I want you to close your eyes again. And I want you to feel where you're feeling that resistance. Your body feel it? I want you to take a good hard look at that resistance. What color is it? I want you to see what color it is. What shape is it? Does it have a shape? What texture is it? Is it hard? Is it smooth? Is it rough? Is it sticky? What happens when you touch it? Is it heavy? Is it light? I want you to figure out what it is, and then once you get that, I want you to ask that, what do you need? Maybe it needs something positive. Maybe it needs some love. Maybe it needs some self-worth. But maybe it needs fear. Maybe it's craving that fear. Maybe it's craving that doubt. Maybe it's craving the lack of self-confidence. Whatever it needs, and either side, whether it needs something positive or whether it needs something that we would consider negative, that's okay. We want to give it 100% of whatever it needs. So I want you to give whatever it needs a color, and I want you to feed that spot 100% of whatever it needs, and just keep feeding it that until it can't take anymore. And as you're feeding it that, breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. Just let it fill it up so that it's satiating it, so that it's giving it everything that it needs. Once it has 100% of that, I want you to tap in that spot, whatever it is, wherever it is. I want you to tap in that spot. And I want you to tell it it's okay. It doesn't need to stay there anymore. Whatever it needs, it has. And that you don't need this resistance anymore. You are giving it permission to let go and to release. And know that in 2024, will become the healthiest version of myself physically, emotionally, spiritually, and financially. You've given it everything that it needs. I want you to align. When you finish with that, give me some sort of thumbs up. I know some of you don't have your cameras on, so just give me some sort of signal so we know it's time to move on to the next piece. Okay, see a couple of you. Okay, next thing we're going to do, we're going to align all of our chakras with this statement. So we're going to start with our root chakra, which is down low. So root chakra, whoops, can't see me when I do that. The root chakra is down low, and then right below your belly button is your sacral chakra, and then right above your belly button is your solar plexus chakra, and then your heart chakra, your throat chakra, your third eye, your brow chakra, and your crown chakras on the top of your head. So we're going to start, and as I say each chakra, you're going to want to tap where it is. I'm going to go slow enough so you can tap there for a few seconds, and we're going to go all the way up, and we're going to align all that. So I align my chakras 100%. In 2024, I will become the healthiest version of myself physically, emotionally, spiritually, and financially. I align my root chakra. I align my sacral chakra. I align my solar plexus chakra. I align my heart chakra. I align my throat chakra. I align my brow chakra. And I align my crown chakra. Now we're going to align. So we're going to start by tapping your forehead and align. Everybody in the comments, if you want to re-rank yourself, that's 0 to 10, 0 being don't believe it at all, to 10 being like, I fully embrace this and this, I know I can do this. Re-rank yourself. Okay. So does somebody who is still feeling a little stuck want to open up, and we'll talk through it, because a lot of times when we talk through it with one person, it helps a lot of people move things that are stuck. So does one person want to open up and talk through where they're still feeling stuck? Anybody? Okay. So if nobody's ready to open up, that's okay. I want everybody who's still feeling stuck in a place, right? Our goal is to get as close to 10 as possible. So I want you to close your eyes again. I want you to listen to the statement. And I want you to see again where you're feeling that resistance. What words are popping up I want you to listen to the words that pop up that are your resistance. In 2024, I will become the healthiest version of myself, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and financially. So I want you to think about that. Where are you feeling that resistance? I want you to feel that resistance. I want you to look at it and see it. And I want you to hear the words that it's saying to you. Those are the non-ideals. What are all the non-ideals that it's telling you? I want you to open your eyes and I want you to write those non-ideals down. Make that list. All those things that it's telling you. When you think you've got them all, write some more. The more we can face them, the more we can clear them, and the faster we can get closer to our transformation. Okay, Eileen typed a message to me in the chat, and so I asked for permission to walk her through this out loud because I think it's going to help. Hopefully, it's going to help everybody. But keep writing your list down. Eileen, you want to open up? Okay, so share with us a little bit about what you're feeling so that we can walk through and move some of it.
So as this started and I started thinking about where I was feeling it, there was a total feeling in my gut that then radiated down my legs and through the tips of my toes. And it is something that has happened in other work that I've done too. It
Okay.
seems to be it's just almost a half body experience.
Okay, so it's that energy that's moving. So when you think of that energy, what was it that you did that triggered that energy to kick in so that you could start to feel it? Like, do you know at what point what we were doing that triggered that energy to feel it?
It was the moment that you suggested we shut our eyes and think about the statement and where you're holding the energy. And it started in one place and then it radiated throughout the rest of my body.
Okay. So I want you to tap on your gut. That's where it started, right?
Yep.
Okay, so I want you to tap on your gut. Breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth, and just listen to my words. I can release the energy of fear or overwhelm or self-doubt or whatever other energies I'm holding that are preventing me from believing that in 2024 I will become the healthiest version of myself, physically, emotionally, spiritually, financially. This vibration of energy is a wake-up call. It's my body fighting between what I have now and what I know I can have in the future. And I have the choice. I have the choice as to which side I want to let win. I can choose to stay right where I am and hold this energy and keep me in the patterns that I've been in for a very long time, or I can choose to let this energy flow right through me and release and allow me to step into the highest version of myself. My true self is deep within me. It is the most beautiful version of myself. I came into this world with a flame glowing brightly, shining brightly. And these fears and these emotions and these energies are trying to hide it. I can choose to allow it to hide it, or I can choose to allow it to let go and disappear and know that I don't need to hide my flame any longer. I can release this and I can let it go. And in 2024, I don't even have to wait till 2024. Starting today, November 29th in 2023, I can become and will become the healthiest version of myself, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and financially. Now I want you to align. So once you finish aligning, tell me what you're feeling now.
It's still in there.
Okay, did it shift at all?
Yeah, it's down my leg. It's like it's moved down to my knees, but it's absolutely heavy at the tips of my toes.
Okay. So are you sitting or are you standing?
Sitting.
Okay, so I want you to stand up.
Okay.
Okay. I want you to feel that heaviness in your toes. Okay, I want you to feel it. Feel like it's like you've got cement in your toes holding you down, holding you in this place. Because that's exactly what this is. This is that old energy sitting in your toes. Our feet are all about moving forward, right? It's holding you there. It doesn't want you to move forward. It wants you to stay stuck. So I want you to, as you look down at your toes and envision them just in these blocks of cement. So you can't move, right? That's all that old energy. And I want you to ask those blocks of cement on your toes, why are you holding me here? And listen for the answer. Why are you holding me here? What benefit do I gain from staying here? Is it answering it all?
Nah.
Okay, that's okay. It doesn't want to answer
Nope.
because it's afraid to answer. So I want you to march in place, let it move, and just listen to my words.
Okay.
I can keep these blocks of cement. I can choose to stay right here. I can choose to be back in this same place a year from now, going into 2025, not having changed my health. That's a choice. I can choose to do that. I can choose to let these blocks of cement stay right here. Or I can choose to take a sledgehammer to these blocks of cement and crush them and make them dissipate so that they are no longer. Releasing these blocks of cement is really scary. It means I'm moving forward. It means that I'm going to face other challenges that I don't necessarily know what they are. And those challenges might be incredibly scary. They might be harder than the challenges I'm facing right now. But they also might be easier. They might give me a place for growth. They're going to give me a place where I can shine brightly. I can choose to keep them. I can choose to stay right here. Or I can choose to destroy them and let them go. Whatever I choose is okay. It's my choice, and I have control. But these blocks of cement are not in control. They are not the ones with the power. I have the power. I want you to picture taking those blocks of cement around your feet and just taking a sledgehammer to them and crushing them, hitting them as hard as you can just to make them break up into teeny tiny pieces. Tell me when they're demolished.
Okay.
Okay. Now I want you to align as I say the statement out loud. In 2024, I will become the healthiest version of myself, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and financially. When you finish aligning, tell me how you feel or what you're feeling.
Oh, it's still present, but it's less.
Okay. Okay, before we started doing that, you were at a 6. Where would you say on that scale of 0 to 10 you are now?
Seven and a
Okay.
half.
Okay, so you've shifted a little bit more. Still feeling it mostly in your feet?
It's most powerful in my feet, but it's
Okay.
actually now like radiating everywhere in my body.
Okay. So I want you to picture coming into the top of your head a bright, white, healing light. It's giving you energy. It's helping you push out the negative, the fears. It's just sort of encompassing it all and filling you with love, with faith, with the knowledge of being worthy. All of the amazing feelings it will feel like when you're in a healthier spot, when you know you're in a healthier spot. Start by filling your head with this white light down through your neck, your shoulders, down your arms and your fingers, down your chest, through your whole torso, down into your hips, down your legs, all the way down to the tips of your toes. And just let this white light completely fill you. For some people, anybody can be doing this, everybody can be doing this. For some people, this might feel cold. For some people, it might feel warm. For some people, it might just feel neutral. Just envision this white light. It's healing you all the way through. And wherever you feel any bit of resistance to it, there's white light having trouble filling those spaces, I want you to tap on those places and just tell it it's okay to fill it. It's okay to fill it in and to hand over the power to this white light. If you're feeling any real resistance, just keep tapping there. I'm going to read the statement again. In 2024, I will become the healthiest version of myself, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and financially. I can let go of any old emotions, any old traumas that are keeping me from believing this statement 100%. And then align. Okay, Eileen, where are you now?
I'm no better.
No better?
No.
So that's 7.5.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like I'm gonna have to just put on some tones and do some, I don't know, maybe do a mind sync or something, but I am actually regressing instead of, yeah, this is just, this is a little too much.
Okay. And that might be. And so that's good. So definitely run some tones. And hold on to this. And as you run the tones, let it process through and let it settle because it'll clear. Sometimes we get that as we're starting to release it. The body says, I don't want to let go of all of this yet. And that's okay. That's sort of this like it does that. And then all of a sudden, when you do other things and start to relax, it then goes. So it'll be interesting to see, and I'll touch base with you tomorrow and see if more of it shifts when you go and you use your tones.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome. Who else is having where is everybody else in this feeling, noticing? Is anybody at a 10? Close? Okay, Jean's pretty close. Karen's at an 8, 9. Good. So we made some pretty big shifts tonight. You can keep using this statement, and I would encourage you to keep using this statement and doing exactly what we did. You're going to get this recording, but going back, listening, you guys made your list of your non-ideals. So what I want you to do with that list of your non-ideals is I want you to read those non-ideals 2 or 3 at a time and tap where you feel that non-ideal and read those non-ideals and say, I align this, and this, whatever those 9 ideals are, 100% to, and read the statement and then align and help move those out. And you'll probably clear out the rest of this as you move through. So cool. Anybody have any other last questions as we wrap up? No? Okay. Awesome. So I'm really excited about this. If you got, anybody that does this and steps in and decides to really make that shift into this next year, this is going to make a big difference. So if you want to sign up for the program, I'm going to send out the recording. You can go on tonight, resetrebuildrestore.com/healthiest you. That will be in the, I'll pop up the screen one more time really quickly. So if you want to catch it right now, and make sure you use the coupon code webinar200 to get that additional $200 off to make it $497 for that. And the sessions are going to be, I said I was going to tell you this guys before, the sessions for that will be, I'm going to give you the dates, hold on. They're going to be Wednesday nights in January. It's going to be 4 Wednesday nights. It's going to be the 3rd, the 10th, the 24th, and the 31st. So we're skipping the 17th. Are going to be the 4 Wednesday nights of the group sessions, 8 p.m. Eastern time. And they will all be recorded. So you'll have indefinite access to those. And then the proxy, the two emotion code, body code proxy sessions, which you won't be on, but I'll be doing them those 2 nights, are going to be on Tuesday nights on the 9th and the 23rd are going to be the 2 nights. So you'll just know, and you'll get, anybody that's in the group will understand, and you'll get instructions on what to do, how to do that. And when you sign up, you'll be able to schedule your one-on-one session with me, and you can get that scheduled for the end of December. So hopefully you'll have done it before this actually starts. If the dates don't work and you can't get it, we can do it right at the beginning of January, but I would love to be doing everybody's one-on-one sessions before we actually launch in. So if you need a tactical, practical plan, we can have that in place, and we can have some things in place so that the sessions can be as custom to the group as possible. So if nobody else has any other questions or thoughts or concerns, we can sign off, and you guys all know how to reach me. And this recording will be going out by email tomorrow morning. So, okay. Everybody have a great night, and I will see you guys all very soon.